The politics of Mount Kenya is thickening by the day. This time round, Kithure Kindiki, the newly appointed deputy president, is the one that William Ruto is using to test the waters. Apparently, after Kithure Kindiki was appointed by President Ruto to replace Rigathi Gachagua, the assumption was that it was going to be the link between Mount Kenya West and Mount Kenya East that William Ruto had deliberately created. Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West have always sort of voted together. But then William Ruto decided deliberately to separate them. And the mission for which Kithure Kindiki was appointed has really backfired because both Mount Kenya West and Mount Kenya East seem to have rallied behind Rigathi Gachagua. And at some point, State House thought that Kithure Kindiki was acting as a weakling. And they might have read a riot act, and Kithure was told to be strong. That is why of late Kithure Kindiki is issuing statements. He's trying to threaten here and there. He's taking on Rigathi Gachagua. He's warning those who are heckling William Ruto. The other day, he was giving an ultimatum to Cecil Mbarire, the governor of Embu. It's just a new paradigm shift because Kithure Kindiki is known to be such a soft guy, a lawyer, a man who many people feel that he shouldn't have accepted to serve in this government because the policies and Kithure don't seem to resonate all the way from when he was appointed in the Ministry of Interior. But he seems to be rubbing shoulders even the wrong way with Mount Kenya fraternity. This time round, the governors are saying that Kithure is being used and he has forgotten even about the constitution in the country. He was in some tour in Mount Kenya, and while there, the leaders expected that he would even share his schedule so that the leadership at the county level would at least embrace that occasion. But Kithure seems to have forgotten that he is a leader rather than being a politician. Remember, they impeached Rigathi Gachagua, accusing him of all manner of things. But Kithure seems to have gotten into the very, very trap, forgetting that he is a leader who is supposed to embrace everyone, including those who he might perceive to be his political nemesis. And I want you to listen to this governor. For the very first time, I agree fully with the governor of Nyeri Kahiga because he's reminding Kithure Kindiki that under the new constitution, we have a two-tier government. The national government and the county government, we need to work together. When the time for politics comes, people will play politics. But when it comes to what they might call development tour, he should embrace all the leaders. In this sense, when the Nyeri governor spoke, I thought for the first time, the Nyeri governor spoke sense into the lawyer's head because Kithure should have known better that there is a time for politics.
Juzi niliona deputy president amekuja Nyeri. Unajua iko watu wengine wanatakaga tu fujo for nothing. Hii ofisi ya governor iko hapa. Ni ofisi ambao wananchi wameichagua. Inafaa wakati mgeni kama huyo anakuja, tunapewa notice. Tunaambiwa the deputy president of Kenya, yule aliyechaguliwa na President Ruto, anakuja. Na tunajua, si ni kweli? Si ni kweli? Na kwa vile yeye ndio uko kwa kiti, sisi tunatumiwa program ndio tujue tutaingilia wapi. Sasa sisi tumekaa pale, tunasikia ako Kieni, mara ako Agodhi, hatujui tuende. Sasa imagine governor anazunguka huku ati sema muonete. Mimi naweza fanya hivyo? Is that right? Hiyo kweli ni haki? Ofisi zipeane heshima. Sisi tunapatia, mimi wakiniita mkutano Nairobi, si mnaona naenda hata ofisi yake. Sisi kama serikali za county na serikali kuu tunafanyia wananchi kazi moja, na hawa hawataki kujua commissioner ni nani alifanya, wanataka tu kujua walichagua serikali. And we as a county government, we want to work with you, we want to, na tuna kusupport. Lakini sasa hiyo maneno ya Nairobi hapo tungetaka tuseme jinsi tunavyosema hapa katika maneno ya SHA, tutofautishe siasa na kazi. Siasa tutakuja kupiga baadaye, hiyo tutapiga ni ya kusema nani hatutaki, kusema ni nani tulichagua, ni nani alichaguliwa na Ruto. Hiyo ni mahesabu inaeleweka, si ni kweli ama namna gani? Na sisi huwa tunaongea mchana wakati kuna jua, si ndio? Tunasema hivyo, nasema deputy president yule alichaguliwa na Ruto alikuja hapa na hakutuambia, na ni next time akikuja apatie ofisi yangu heshima, atumane tu aseme mimi nitakuja, program yangu ni hivi, na mimi mwenyewe nitakuwa. Kama sitakuwa, deputy wangu atakuwa, na tutamsupport kwa sababu tunataka kazi, ama namna gani? Si ni namna hiyo? Na tungetaka waje mara mingi, kwa sababu siku hiyo nilisikia walikuja nyumba mingi kulikuliwa nyama.
You know, I listened to Mutahi Kahiga, and even though he was trying to play some little politics, he's saying, we know the deputy who was appointed by William Samoei Ruto. He's reminding Kithure Kindiki that, you know, you are appointed, you are never elected, which is true. But then he is telling Kithure Kindiki that when you visit a place, it behoves you to just notify the leadership of the county that we are coming. And the reason why this is very important, and I know why Kithure Kindiki maybe did not bother to notify them. This is going to be used for politics, because Kithure would simply say that just the same way Rigathi Gachagua used to boycott Ruto events, his allies are also boycotting his event. Because when he picked Nyeri, which is the backyard of Rigathi Gachagua, it was like a test. When he goes there, there is a governor. Even if he does not want Rigathi to be there for conflicts and all that, the Nyeri governor should have been notified. If it is a development tour, even if it is not a development tour, because they had reminded Rigathi Gachagua that he should have conducted himself in a manner that befits a national leader. So if Kithure Kindiki wanted to fit into that shoes to show that he's a better leader, he should have reminded them that, yes, I'm coming, I am the deputy president. You know, the reason why he failed, maybe to start accusing the governor that he did not want to be part of it because he's close to Rigathi Gachagua. The way Mutahi Kahiga explained it, he has exonerated himself so that they don't go start and, maligning his name that he did not want to be there. But number two, he is undermining the authority of the governor. The governor, and I think this is what Governor Kahiga was alluding to, that I was elected by thousands of voters, but you were appointed. So when you come to my area, you need to notify me. I think it is a kind of also supremacy battle. The truth is, a governor is elected, but Kithure Kindiki was appointed. And I know there's a lot of politics around this that, had Kithure Kindiki been picked by William Ruto as the other leaders had voted before the 2022 election, maybe he would have been elected. But fate had it that William Ruto, in his wisdom or lack of the same, picked Rigathi Gachagua. Then later he had to drop it and pick Kithure Kindiki. But that is the truth, that Kithure is just appointed. And I think when Mutahi Kahiga looks at him, he feels, I am more powerful than you, except for the ranking, the pecking order under the Constitution. As to whether that is true or not, I do not know. But then the reason why I'm saying that Mutahi Kahiga, who I believe is not a lawyer, fixed some senses in Kithure Kindiki. Why? We have the county government that must work together with the national government. So anytime you visit a place and you really mean well for the people, you need to tell them. And Mutahi was saying that I was ready to accompany you. you know, so that if there is something that will benefit the people, then we put politics aside and we help our people. And that is what they have been preaching. That is what William Ruto has been, saying all along. And for Kithure Kindiki to do that, I think he didn't act as a lawyer. Lawyers know better that the two levels of the government must interact together for the benefit of the people. Because the moment he leaves out the governor for some mischievous reasons, the governor will not suffer, but the people of Kenya. And Kithure failed. What is the difference between him and Rigathi Gachagua? If he can go to a certain place and he fails to notify the county government, I think that was wrong. But I also believe that he was simply acting Ruto script. You know, hakuna haja, huyu mtu hakuna atatusaidia nayo, hata tukienda tumwache, hakuna haja. You know, the UD government is full of fallacy and hypocrites. They preach one thing, but they act another. They preach unity. In terms of appointments, they practice tribalism. They preach unity, but if you look at the way they do their things, they are perpetuating division. That's why many people supported the move by Governor Kahiga. Because if you believe that you're working for the people, if you believe that you want to unite the nation, why then do you leave other leaders when you visit their place? And I think Kithure Kindiki must be very careful. Kithure is a leader. Were it not for the involvement with the UDA government, Kithure is a man who was loved. His credentials, but this time around, he has tarnished his hands. Even during the Gen Z's, protest, he was the one in charge and very many were killed. During Azimio protest, he was the one who was in charge. And now, the more he gets deeply involved in this government, now is the second in command, he will continue making certain mistakes. And he needs to be sober enough, he needs to be independent, he needs to be strong if he wants to achieve his dreams, if he wants to be counted, if he wants to stand a chance so that maybe later, in some few years, it can be, considered for higher positions. And I think the highest cadre now that he can attain, or he can really wish to attain, is the presidency. But he needs to act independently. He doesn't need to be misused by William Samoei Ruto. And I know he had promised that he wanted to be loyal, but loyalty has got some limits. Let him not play the script of William Ruto, that you neglect leaders that you feel are not part of you. And I don't know what you think, but I think for the first time, Governor Kahiga was just right.